On New Year's Eve 1949, Peggy Carter and Howard Stark steal some important shit from a Hydra base. Hydra agents pursue them, and when they think they have lost them, a couple of agents jump off a bridge and onto the car. Agent Carter was able to blast one of them away, but was surprised to discover they were robots sent to kill them. When one of them was about to attack with its laser eyes, Carter took a mirror and deflected that shit back at it. They start to panic when the half-torn robot is about to explode, and suddenly they begin to glow and come out of a portal. Howard was surprised to have survived the explosion when Carter pointed out they may no longer be in 1949, seeing the massive Avengers Tower before them. Meanwhile, at present, Captain America is surprised to see Tony Stark at the tower when he assumes he'd be out partying on New Year's Eve. Tony claims that he used to love partying all night, but realized that every night for him is nonstop partying because the party is him. He explains that he can party every other night of the year, but tonight he is close to a breakthrough and plans on completing it. Out of nowhere, the alarms go off, and it detects an energy signature in Central Park, which he believes is using unauthorized Stark technology. Captain America grabs his mask and claims that being an Avenger is always a non-stop party. Captain America and Iron Man quickly checked it out, and they found a car crash in the middle of Central Park. Suddenly, Howard and Agent Carter come out of the bushes and have them both at gunpoint. Captain America quickly recognizes Peggy Carter and Howard Stark, but Iron Man refuses to believe it, claiming his father to have long been dead. He aims his weapons at them, believing them to be some doppelganger or a shapeshifter. Iron Man claims that he doesn't want to hurt them unless he gets to know who they are and is surprised that they are using his father's plate number. Captain America and Peggy quickly step in and stop them. While wondering how they got there, Peggy suspects it must have something to do with the ugly-ass robot that ambushed them. Back at the tower, Tony checks them both and confirms residual neutrino energy readings, which are said to be usually associated with people who have time traveled. He suspects that they must have come through a time portal. When Howard asks him why he can't remember, Tony explains that when a time traveler receives high doses of subchronal energy, it could wipe out a few hours of memory. Howard was thrilled to discover that he would one day have a kid. When he started asking about his wife, Tony awkwardly changed the topic and distracted him with the highly advanced technology he came up with. Captain America chases after Peggy, who is still weirded out by the situation. She wondered where he had been all this time, to which he explained that he had been frozen in ice for the past 60 years. Peggy claims that she thought she was over him, having believed that he died in the war and mourned for him. Tony calls them back to his lab when they are about to rekindle old feelings. Tony claims that he couldn't get enough data from the robot parts they brought back with them, and asks them both to return to the crash site to look for anything that might have passed through the portal with them. While Peggy and Captain America are out to check the crash site, Tony and Howard start to bond. While impressed with technological advancements, Howard claims that the cars in this century are nothing compared to his car. As they argued over who had the better car, the half-torn robot suddenly started pulling in mechanical parts that made it whole again. Iron Man insists he takes care of it, but Howard refuses to hide behind the sidelines. When the enemy has Iron Man pinned down, Howard swoops into his rescue. Tony quickly recognizes the technology used when Kang suddenly appears before them. He explains that Kang comes from 800 years into the future, where they have perfected time travel. Kang claims that Howard Stark is a hard man to kill. He admits to sending robot hunters disguised as Hydra agents to their time to kill him, but ends up here instead with the Avengers. He explains that in his time, Kang has been fighting an irritating individual named Arno Stark. He reveals him to be Howard's descendant, who has proven to be a threat to his empire. Despite that, he believes Arno is impossible to defeat, So Kang has returned in time to destroy Howard instead. Without Howard, there wouldn't be an arc reactor, Iron Man, Avengers, and definitely Arno Stark. Realizing that, Tony Stark teams up with his father to destroy Kang and protect their bloodline. Captain America and Peggy return to the crash to look for anything that might have passed through the portal. They find the other half of the robot that ambushed them when suddenly they hear banging at the back of the car that Howard drove in. Peggy claims that she could not remember what it was, but they were surprised to find it was Dr. Faustus's bald-headed ass from Hydra. Faustus claims that he always believed Captain America's death to be nothing but a conspiracy. He was then tinkering with his ring, trying to use his hypnotism on them, but it didn't work. Faustus claims it doesn't matter when a bright light suddenly blinds them as he flees from the scene. When he runs into some gangsters, he uses his hypnotism on them to attack Captain America and Peggy. After beating them up, they chase after Dr. Faustus and capture him. They then return to the crash to recover the other half of the robot for Tony to look into. Captain America claims that if anyone can return them to their time, Tony can. Peggy claims she isn't ready to return yet, so Captain America offers to return with her to her time. Meanwhile, Howard and Iron Man struggle to defeat Kang. When he knocks out Iron Man, Kang is about to finish off Howard when Captain America and Peggy arrive at his rescue. As they rally together to defeat him, Kang catches Iron Man, Captain America, and Peggy off guard and knocks them out. Howard runs to safety, realizing that Kang is after him. When he fails to finish off Howard, Kang decides to settle on finishing off Iron Man instead, whose armor is malfunctioning. Howard returns in one of Iron Man's suits when he is about to kill Iron Man. Together with Peggy and Captain America, they were able to fend him off, forcing Kang to retreat. Howard chases after him and Iron Man and the others follow. Howard initially struggled to pilot the suit, but eventually got the hang of it. As he furiously chases after him, he corners Kang on one of the rooftops, where Iron Man and the others catch up to him. Iron Man claims his sensors aren't picking up any signals and suspects that Kang must be jamming them. They are forced to split up to search for Kang, with Iron Man going with Howard while Captain America searches with Peggy. Iron Man apologizes that this isn't the father-son bonding he had in mind, but Howard claims that seeing his son with his technology in action is good enough. Kang claims he came to erase the Starks from existence and that killing Captain America was only a bonus. He tries to ambush Captain America, but Peggy arrives, and together they knock him to the ground, where Iron Man and Howard arrive to punch him in the face. Outnumbered, they eventually take down Kang, but instead of surrendering, he tells them they fail to see the bigger picture. He explains that Peggy and Howard coming there from the past created a time paradox. After they have been displaced long enough, everything since the time they left will soon disappear, including all future Starks. Captain America claims Kang is trying to destroy their history and everything they have ever done. Iron Man quickly runs an algorithm to see if he can calculate how long they have before the time stream is destroyed based on how fast things are fading away. Kang slips away, but not before he claims it's too late. He tells them to enjoy watching their future, past, and even present disappear forever. Howard tried to stop him, but he already escaped into a portal. Iron Man claims that after going through the numbers, they must return Peggy and Howard to their own time by midnight. Otherwise, everything will be erased. While Iron Man retrieves the other half of the robot hunter they have at the tower, the others return to the crash site. Tony claims the robot components should have enough residual energy to build a time beacon. He hopes it'll reopen the portal that brought them there in the first place if they can finish it before midnight. Howard claims that if they can reconfigure the core processor, they should be able to boost the transmission range. Iron Man tells him that he'll have to hold it manually while he does that. Captain America claims there is no reason he can't return with them, but Peggy explains that this is home and that they need him now more than ever as a member of the Avengers. Together, Tony and Howard open a portal that will take them back to the past. Howard claims he is thrilled to discover he has a son, but Tony explains he won't even remember this happening when he returns. Howard claims that he doesn't want to know about the future and would prefer to be surprised when it happens. That said, he leaves his car behind to Tony, who tells him not to tinker around with it, claiming that some things are perfect just the way they are. Just as they are about to say their goodbyes, a portal opens, and Kang shows up and attacks them. Captain America is able to block it when suddenly an armored suit emerges and pulls Kang back inside. Tony suspects that it must be Arno Stark that Kang tried so hard to eliminate. When Howard and Peggy return to 1949, they have no idea what happened after they captured Dr. Faustus. Howard explains that he too is unsure, but he claims that despite that, he feels the future will be promising. Iron Man wondered if there was some proof, so they'd know that they got there safely when Iron Man's gauntlet suddenly rematerialized. Captain America claims that his father left him a lovely gift to remember him by. Iron Man claims they gave them something better: extra time with the people they love. Feeling grateful, they celebrate Happy New Year with the rest of New York. Thank you for watching. Check out these other videos and make sure to subscribe and tap the bell to be notified about our latest videos. See you next time.